Okay, so for my quarter one I did solving for y. When you're solving for y, you always want to try and isolate the y, meaning that you want to get the y by itself to find the value. For some problems, it's pretty basic. You just have one variable, which is y, and you have to solve for that. So for this problem, we have 2y plus 6 equals y plus 36. So we want to get our y variable by itself, so we combine like terms. So for this one, we subtract the 6, and what we have to do to one side, we must do to the other. So we get 2y equals y plus 30. We subtract this y to get it over here, and we get y equals 30. For other ones, sometimes you have multiple variables. So for this equation, we have y minus 12 plus 36x equals x squared plus 6. And since we have our x squared, we know this is going to be a parabola. So again, we try to isolate the y to get it by itself. So we would add 12 on this side and do the same thing on the other. And we would get y plus 36x equals x squared plus 18. And when we do our math, we get y equals x squared minus 30x, 6x plus 18. For my quarter one dislike, I did graphing the square root functions. So our parent function is f of x, which means y equals the square root of x, or radical x. And this is what it looks like when you graph it. If there is a number after the radical x and it is outside of the radical x, then this dictates whether it moves up and down. So for this one, we have the square root of x plus 2. Notice that it's outside of it. So we move the graph up 2. However, if the number is inside the square root of x, or under, whatever you want to say, then this dictates whether it moves right or left. So for this one, we have y equals the square root of x minus 2. And it moves right too, because if we were to set this equation equal to 0, x would equal 2. Same thing on the other side, it's just flipped. We have y equals the square root of x plus 2, so it moved left 2. From our quarter two I did intro to factoring. So I just wrote how numbers have factors. 2 times 3 equals x. 2 and the 3 are considered factors. I mean, that's pretty basic. Expressions like this one also have factors. So when we have x squared plus 4x plus 3 equals x plus 3 times x plus 1, our x plus 3 and x plus 1 are factors, and you'll see why here in a second. Okay, so sometimes you're given the factors and you have to solve. So we have x plus 5 times 2x plus 3. And for this, we just double distribute the x and the 5, and you can kind of see the way that flows with the arrows. So we would do x times our 2x to get 2x squared, and we do our x times our 3 to get 3x. Then we distribute our 5, and we get 5 times 2x equals 10x, and our 5 times 3 equals 15. Then we just simplify and add like terms, and we get 2x plus 13x, 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. Okay, for a quarter two dislike, I did quadratic regression. And with quadratic regression, you're always given like a set of data, like an x and y value. And this, like for quadratic regression, it basically just is like a parabola that kind of best fits the data. So we're given the data right here, our x and y terms. And for quadratic regression, it's a lot of calculator work. So if you understand the steps and memorize them, it's pretty simple. So all you have to do is hit stat on your calculator, then you press edit. You enter your x values in L1 and your y values in L2, which is given to you right here. Once you have done that, to find the quadratic regression, you hit stat again, and then you right arrow to calc.